Hey everybody, how's it going? Aaron Rift here from NoDQ.com to give you my WWE Extreme Rules 2015 pay-per-view review. I will be giving you my thoughts on the matches from start to finish and the pay-per-view as a whole. Overall, I thought Extreme Rules was a better than expected show. I had low expectations going in, and in the end, Extreme Rules delivered. The matches were ranging from good to great, and there was no real bad match on the show. Even the Divas match wasn't terrible. I was impressed. I felt that WWE did deliver a solid show. There were some issues that I had logic-wise, but I'll get to more of that in a minute. Let's start off with the pre-show match. We had Wade Barrett versus Neville. It was originally scheduled to be Wade Barrett versus Daniel Bryan for the IC title, but Daniel Bryan not medically cleared as announced by WWE.com. So we just had a regular match, no IC title on the line. Neville comes out. He ends up defeating Wade Barrett. I don't know what that means in regards to Daniel Bryan and what's going to happen with him, or if WWE even has a set plan for Daniel Bryan and the IC title. But in this match, I felt that Neville looked really impressive. I felt that this was a good showcase from him. It was fairly standard from what we've come to expect from Neville. He did his usual moves. It was more or less the same type of match we've seen from Neville over the past few weeks, but it was still really good. Crowd was hot. Neville looked really strong. He kicked out of two of Wade Barrett's trademark moves and ended up winning with his finisher. Very good match to kick off the Extreme Rules event. And then we got to the main pay-per-view. Michael Cole referred to this as the one night that WWE goes extreme. So I guess that Hell in a Cell and TLC and all those matches don't count as extreme, apparently. But moving on here to the main card. I also wanted to mention real quick, the stream was lagging a little bit for me. I don't know if it had to do with the free people tuning in for the first time and that overloaded WWE's servers. I don't know, but I've noticed a pattern. The months where we've had the free months for the network, the streams have been a little bit slower, at least for me personally, and I've heard some other people have had the same issue. Some have had no problem at all with the streams, especially on pay-per-view. So, I guess it just depends on the person and where they're at, their location, their internet service provider, whatever. But I was having some issues. The first match, we had Harper versus Dean Ambrose, the Chicago street fight. This was fairly entertaining. No real criticism of the work with these two, but I did feel that the storyline with the match was a little goofy. The two of them ended up brawling backstage. That was fine. But then they got in the car and Luke Harper drove off, and we did not see either of them for about 45 to 50 minutes. They just apparently disappeared driving around Chicago in a car. There was no explanation, no cameras, nothing. I figured when they did that maybe we'd have a camera following them and they would literally brawl on the streets of Chicago. But yeah, they just disappeared in the car, came back 45 minutes later. Harper drove away, and when they came back, Ambrose was driving. So I don't know if they got in an accident or they pulled over and they exchanged places. I don't even know. It was just goofy. It was really over the top. But, it was very entertaining. The two of them had an entertaining match for what it was. After the Chicago street fight, we had, let's see here, just looking up the notes here because I'm trying to go back and see what I wrote about these matches. Okay, we had Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus in the Kiss My Arse match. Goofy stipulation, but the match itself I thought was really good. I actually thought this whole match was really entertaining. Ziggler was just great as usual in there, and I was entertained by the match. I was entertained by the storyline. Ziggler won, or Zigger as JBL called him several times during this match. Ziggler won, which I predicted. I figured it made more sense for the babyface to win, so the heel has to be the one that's humiliated. But in this case, Sheamus, like a true heel, refused to do it. And he acted like he was going to. The crowd was chanting, pucker up. So the crowd was really into it. And, I was entertained. Sheamus, of course, turned on Dolph Ziggler and forced the knocked out Ziggler to kiss his ass. And got great heel heat. I don't know if Sheamus is going to be forced to live up to the stipulation and kiss Ziggler's ass on Raw. That remains to be seen. But this was fine. This was fine entertainment. And moving on here, let's see what we got next. Too many notes here. Oh, okay. We have the tag team titles match, the New Day versus Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. I thought that this was a great match. Going into this pay-per-view, I actually expected this to be the match of the night. And it was probably the best match on the show in terms of the in-ring performances of everybody involved. New Day, they have totally turned the corner with me. I was really disliking the gimmick when they were baby faces, but ever since they turned heel, it's just been a complete 180. I love the New Day now. They're so much better as heels. And the crowd was just really into this match. They were doing the New Day chants, the New Day sucks chants, and Xavier was great on the outside. I liked when Tyson and Cesaro were doing the stomps in the corner to the beat of the New Day sucks chants. So this was just a tremendous match. Everybody looked really good in here, and New Day wins the tag team titles. I really enjoyed this match a lot, and I predicted New Day to win the titles. I felt that they had momentum on their side, and a title change was appropriate here, and the New Day can be the new Freebirds, or the Black Freebirds, as somebody put it on Twitter. Since there's the three guys and two of them can defend the titles, any two of them can defend the titles. So this was really good stuff. I was really happy about this, and. Next up, we had John Cena versus Rusev in the Russian chain match. Or wait a minute, before I get to that real quick, the finish of Ambrose versus Harper. You had the New Day backstage doing a post-match interview, and then all of a sudden, Harper and Ambrose come back. Ambrose jumps on the New Day, and then him and Harper continue to brawl back into the ring. And this was really short. This only went about 2 or 3 minutes. They threw chairs into the ring. And Dean Ambrose ends up defeating Luke Harper in a 55-minute match, I guess. Since the match never officially stopped, apparently the two of them went Broadway. They went for a full hour in this Chicago street fight. Like I said, goofy storyline. Not really a big fan of it, but it was entertaining for what it was. So next up, we have the Russian chain match, John Cena versus Rusev. Crowd chanting USA, and then a minute later they're booing John Cena and singing John Cena sucks. Whatever. The crowd, like WrestleMania, the crowd was bipolar. I actually thought that this was probably the weakest match on the show besides the Divas match. Not that it was bad or anything. I thought it was a fine match, but to me, the chain really didn't add much to this match. In the PG era of WWE, it just didn't really serve much of a purpose, and the whole thing with the lights in each corner and everything, it was just a bit cartoonish, over the top. The big storyline here was that Rusev was distracted by Lana. Lana was interacting with fans at ringside, so I guess this is the start of her babyface turn. And Rusev kicked her out, and then eventually John Cena got the upper hand and won the match. So Rusev, after the match, yelled at Lana. She went backstage to the Authority, and I guess at Payback, it's going to be Cena versus Rusev in an I Quit match. I guess this will be the final match of the feud, and I can only see one of two finishes. Either John Cena wins because he doesn't submit, or Rusev threatens to hurt Lana and instructs Cena to quit, or he's going to break her neck and Cena quits. They're going to do something lame like that maybe. But I would go with Cena winning, but we'll get to that later at a later time. Payback in about 3 weeks from now. So this was fine. Not a terrible match, but nothing all that memorable. Not like it was an all-time classic. Naomi versus Nikki Bella. It was an okay match, but the crowd was dead, as I expected. This was the bathroom break match. Naomi has new music, complete with sunglasses and light-up shoes. But, to me, it wasn't all that impressive. I was like, whatever. Match itself was just okay. Wasn't terrible. There have been worse Diva matches, so, it was fine for what it was. Just really confusing who the babyface and who the heel was. Brie helped Nikki win the match, even though Naomi's the heel. I don't know. Just felt to me like WWE has no idea what they're doing with the Divas division. Next up, we have the last man standing match, Roman Reigns versus The Big Show. This was the real surprise of the night. Going in, I was not expecting much from this. I thought this match was not going to be good. I thought the crowd was going to turn on it. And not only was the crowd not turning on it, but it turned out to be a really good match. I was pleasantly surprised. Big Show took a lot of bumps. Roman Reigns took a lot of bumps, including being chokeslammed from inside the ring to the outside through 2 tables. You had Roman Reigns spearing Big Show through the barrier. You had Big Show knocking himself into a table. You had Roman Reigns spearing Big Show into the Spanish announce table through the table. And then Roman Reigns literally tipping the table over onto Big Show and then standing on top of it and winning the match that way. This match did so much better than I think anybody expected going in, except for your diehard Roman Reigns fans. This was really good. Roman Reigns looked really good here, and crowd was into it. So big success here for WWE. They somehow managed to dodge a bullet with this one, because I thought this match was going to be a disaster. And hats off to Reigns and Big Show, because they really brought their A game in this. I was really impressed with this, and very nice, pleasant surprise for this pay-per-view. These guys going out there and having a really solid match, really solid last man standing match. And I also wanted to note that WWE actually retweeted me on Twitter during this match. I had complimented JBL's line about Big Show only likes tables with food on it, and WWE's Twitter account actually retweeted my tweet. So thank you, WWE. Never thought you guys would retweet something of mine. That was kind of cool. So moving on here to the main event, Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins in the steel cage match. RKO was banned, and that would play into the finish. No real surprise here. We all expected Kane to get involved, and he would attack Randy Orton, and as it turns out, he attacked both guys. He was fed up with Seth Rollins, and he choke slammed both guys. He slammed the cage door into both guys' faces at the same time, and there was one fan yelling out, "That was mean!" I thought that was pretty funny. J&J security out there, and the finish of this match was Randy Orton hitting the RKO on Kane, and then Seth Rollins hitting Randy Orton with the RKO and escaping the cage. And I guess the controversy here is that the RKO was banned, not just banned for Randy Orton, but banned from Seth Rollins as well. So I guess that will be the way that Randy Orton gets another rematch. Maybe it'll be a triple threat at Payback with Roman Reigns added to the mix. So the match itself was decent. It was really hard to follow some of the other matches on this pay-per-view. To me, it wasn't an all-time classic cage match. It was good, not great, and just very much overbooked. Vince Russo special, just all the interference, all the wackiness. So it wasn't a perfect ending to the pay-per-view, but overall, I thought it was a really solid show. I would give it, maybe a B. B average. Very solid show. Better than I expected. I was not expecting much from this pay-per-view, but I feel WWE definitely delivered, and it was better than a typical 3-hour Raw. I definitely give it a thumbs up. Good show. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Let me know what you thought about the show. See you guys this week for no DQ&A video.